This week, Reverend Larissa is talking about creation. Most people, when they hear the word creation at church, think about Genesis and the creation story. How over the course of 7 days, God created the earth and the stars and all of the animals and plants and people that we know and love. But when you think about being a creator, I want you to think about yourself. If we were created in God's own image, and God is a creator, that means we're also creators. As the school year has started and fall is coming, we seem to spend less time outside in God's creation. Which is why this week, when you think about creation, I want you to spend some time in it. And even better, I want you to create using God's creation. You might see I'm fiddling with something in my hands right now. Look, I am making a God's eye. It might not seem like it, but I think that creating this God's eye is kind of like a form of worship. Anytime you use a gift that God's given you, be it, creating God's eyes, or baking, or being kind, or singing, you are celebrating God. You are worshiping, you are celebrating creation. Fall is kind of when all the plants start to die and winter's coming. So that might not seem like the best time to create something, but it is. As leaves fall off of trees and branches turn into sticks, you have plenty of materials to create using God's creation without harming any of the plants. Today I'm going to show you a couple quick crafts that you can do outside as a form of alternative worship. One of my favorite forms of natural creation is making fairy houses. You can see my fairy house here. You can make a God's eye like I am, or you can make some leather art using found natural materials like this. You can also decorate rocks, just like we spoke about last week in the Words for Children. If you don't remember what those looked like, or you didn't watch yet, you can see what they look like right now. There are so many projects that you can make outside using found natural materials, so there's no need to stick to just these few that I've brought up today. But if you do want to learn how to make the projects that I've just spoken about, you can go over to our South Church Youth YouTube page, which is a little bit of a tongue twister, South Church Youth YouTube page, and see how I did it. And I'll kind of talk you through and give you some tips. I also want to see whatever you make that's is or is not these couple crafts that I showed you today. You might have seen I started to mail out to families stuff for, this year, Youth Exploring Spirituality. One of those things is a community art project. I really hope you partake in our community art project because I believe we are all creators. We are created by the Creator to be creators, if I can say that word anymore in this video. If you're feeling so inspired, I would love to hear from you about what you think our next community art project should be. We are going to do a couple over the course of the year, and I have a few ideas bouncing around in my head, but I want to make sure that these are art projects that you want to do. If you are feeling inspired by art class now that you're back at school, or by something you see online, or something that you and your friends do when you're out at recess, I want you to let me know, because I don't have all the answers. I create just like you do, by learning, by trying new things. So let me know. You can email me at discipleship@southchurch2.org. With that being said, I hope you go into the week and create something awesome. If you don't have time to create, maybe just sit and relax outside. Just slow down and take a moment to appreciate the awesome creation that we live in.